Big Bad Alouettes coming to town on Friday night, and we are going to get you set for this matchup between the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the Montreal Alouettes at the Madhouse on Matheson. What's going on, everybody? Welcome inside Game Day Winnipeg here on Bonfire Sports. Darrin Bauming, joined by the one and only Chris Walby. Bluto, what a weird game in Edmonton last week. Absolutely wild. Winnipeg's up 16-6 at the half. It was nearly 16-0. And then a second half that was just completely confounding, confusing, bewildering to Bombers fans, and maybe more than anybody, Tommy Condell, as the Blue Bombers offense just couldn't get a first down for such a long stretch of time. They lose to the West Division leading Edmonton Elks 22-19. Were you, like Mike O'Shea put it this week, no silver linings, but were you encouraged with what you saw from the Blue Bombers, holding a team that has torched opponents this season with their offense? Winnipeg held them to 22 points.
Well, let's not talk about the defense. I think offensively, where I'm concerned, I mean, obviously, to only run 4 plays in the third quarter, that's crazy. And the fact is, it's one of those stories again. I hate to beat this to death, but I'm going to. You know, Brady had how many yards in the first half, and they don't give him the ball in the second half again. They try and go, and it's like, if it's not broken, don't try and fix it. You know what? You ride the wheel that got you there, and I don't understand why they changed their philosophy, but, you know, I mean, when you look at all those things and they say 13 plays in the whole second half, 13, and they ran 40 in the first half. Like, that's just 2 different ball games. Mm-hmm. So who's making adjustments and who's not making adjustments? That's what I want to know. Halftime is where you go in, they bring the chalkboard out, and they go, okay, guys, here's what they're doing to us. Here's what we got to do to them. And let's go out there and make the second half as good as the first half. And for some reason, they fell flat on their face. I've never seen that. I got to admit, on all the years I've played, I don't know if I've ever seen a collapse like that. I mean, I actually had to double take it when I heard they only ran 4 plays. But I was watching this game at the lake, and I was so disappointed. I'm like, come on, guys. I thought, you know what? You got it. Here it is. The Bombers upsetting Edmonton in Edmonton. What a great way to change the season. You know, and obviously I went away. I had a couple Coleys at halftime. I came back, and it was like, curse! What happened? I didn't understand what happened, but that's why you should always drink Lucky. I switched my brand at halftime. That killed them. I'm just superstitious like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, all you former players, current players, a little superstitious at times. Great to see everybody in the live chat. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and maybe more importantly than anything is send it to a friend. Let them know. We got live pregame and postgame coverage here on Bonfire Sports on YouTube. Our Facebook page is down right now, so if you know people that watch on Facebook, let them know. We are on YouTube. It's easy to find. BonfireSports.ca/live or BonfireSports.ca/YouTube. It'll take you right here. No problem. Before we get into the Bombers roster and lineup for this game against the Montreal Alouettes, Dietrich Nichols is a game time decision, but otherwise it's looking like Winnipeg won't make any changes from their roster from the past 2 weeks. This is the stats page from the game in Edmonton. Okay. And I'll pull it up here. And I want to show people this. We talked about it on the postgame show. And what we do on the postgame is we'll play video highlights of the game, but we'll also look at things like this. So this is the drive chart, okay? And here is Winnipeg in gold and Edmonton in green. And I want you to just focus on Winnipeg, okay? So I'll zoom in on just Winnipeg. And we'll lose these titles at the top as we scroll down. Well, no, maybe even we won't. Here's your quarter. You can see my mark on the screen. Okay. This is a pass play. This is a run play. This is a sack. This is a tackle for loss. Okay. Kicks, punts, plays, and net yards. So let's go into the second half. And here's Winnipeg's first scrimmage, first possession on offense. Okay. 2 run plays, and they punt the ball. Their second possession, 1 pass play, 1 sack, and they punt the ball. Third possession, 2 pass plays, and they punt the ball. Their fourth possession, 3 pass plays, 1 run play, and it was ended in an interception. Okay. So I just wanted to show this to people because all week long, it's why didn't they give Brady the ball? Well, they gave Brady the ball the first 2 plays of the second half. It was a 2 and out. They went pass play, sack, then 2 pass plays, then 3 pass plays and a run play. Part of me, Chris, looks at this chart and says, well, they could have given Brady Oliveira the ball more. And the other part of me says, they're doing whatever they can to just get a first down. You played 16 years in this league. You called 10 Grey Cups on television. And you've been now doing this TSN thing with me and YouTube for another decade plus. I think this is year 12 for us, 11 or 12. You've seen a lot of football. You've played a lot of football.
Yeah.
When an offense is struggling to just even get a first down, is it so easy to just give the ball to your running back?
I don't think it's about that. I mean, obviously the fact that he only had 2 carries in the second half. You got it. But again, the thing is, it's a team game, right? Whether it's special teams, defense, or offense. Obviously, the defense was not getting off the field. But this game was not out of reach by any means. So this is what confuses me. You know what? Yeah, Brady had like 110 yards of offense in the first half. He had 8 yards in the second half. Now, I'm not saying you should just live and die with Brady, but I got to give you more than 2 carries. Yeah, plus, but my point is, and you got to get on the field. And if you can't get on the field because your defense can't get off the field, that limits the amount of things you're going to do. I don't know if they were in a panic mode. I don't know if they try to change their offense, say we got to throw the ball now.
Yeah.
But whatever they try to do, Edmonton took it away from them. I mean, think about that. I mean, second half, 13 plays. That's like 7 a quarter. That'd be 14. Terrible. That's even giving a 1 bonus. I don't understand it. If the game was way out of reach, I'd say, okay, yeah, you got to throw the ball. But they were in this game. I mean, you know what? They lost the game on a walk-off field goal. It just doesn't. You got to be able to stop them when you have to stop them. I'm not going to beat up all the time on the offense because I think the defense, in my mind, maybe even more so, has to. I blame them. I lay that on them because of the fact that they can't stop them, especially in the last drive.
When it mattered,
if you don't let them get those big catches, and obviously they were talking about poor tackling. You know what? It happens. I know they threw the ball. I don't know if it was Jonathan Moxey couldn't wrap him up, and I think that whatever the guy's name, TJ Luther ran and picked up an extra couple yards.
I'm going to play that play right now. I'm going to play that play right now.
Play it right now. There you go. Let her rip, buddy. Let her rip.
2nd and 10.
There it is. Yeah, right at the top of your screen.
30 seconds left.
Yep.
And that tackle right there from Jonathan Moxey would have made it 3rd and 5 from, Winnipeg's 44-yard line. This would have been a 50-yard field goal attempt at that point.
Which probably would have got made because, Sergio's been on fire.
Maybe.
But, obviously, you get yourself a chance. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
This game, a first down. They moved the ball again, and Vincent always kicks a field goal, wins the game with no time left. But again, they're talking about tackling. I heard them, talking to Jordan Younger, the defense coordinator. What about tackling? He says we work on it all the time. You just can't stop. There's a run right after that, right? They've got to be able to get off the field. And I know Willie Jefferson, here he comes walking out to this guy right here, but Vincent kicks the field goal.
Blanchard.
Blanchard. But they shouldn't even have this been this close. And now people are complaining because why do we go for on a 3rd and 3 and we turn the ball over? But we were winning it or playing pretty damn good football, and that was the first half, right?
Yeah.
So you're trying to put a stamp on it, put the little foot on the throat kind of thing, and it backfired a little bit. But still, they were still in the game. Still had the lead at halftime. So I don't know. It's just crazy, man.
I would love
And
for people in the live chat to let me know what you're thinking. Okay. Like I asked the question last week, where's your confidence in this team? I'm now asking if your confidence has wavered, and I think it's absolutely expected and understandable if Bombers fans' confidence in this team is wavering or if it's even gone. But being that close, playing a pretty good football game, and then your offense just falls off a cliff in the second
Okay,
half, and your
stop.
defense can't get a
There you go.
stop when it matters.
Yeah.
Is there any semblance of a silver lining in this? And again, I don't want to give my opinion yet. I want people to chime in on the live chat. Mike O'Shea said there's no silver lining in this. It's win or it's not a win. But for a fan, like Montreal is going to be a tough task on Friday night. But then the next two
Yeah.
games against Saskatchewan, and then a bye week, and then a home stretch. Like, let's not pretend like Winnipeg is out of it this season. They are jam-packed at 3, 4, and 5 in the West Division standings right now.
Yeah, they got an opportunity, but you know what? You can't keep saying next game, one game at a time. Well, that maybe you can say that because one game at a time is actually the philosophy you want to use. But having said that, you got this. This is a team that when you came to Winnipeg, when you played in our house, you were going to most of the time take a beating, or we're going to leave you, a little humiliated, and you're going to go home and lost. I think they've lost 3 or the last 4 at home, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember what that stat is, but it's no longer the place of fear for other teams. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that's got to change. I love the rhetoric. I love hearing all the guys talking about, we're all going to look in the mirror. We're all going to do this again. We can only take care of our own job individually. We've got to rise to the occasion. We've got to play good, smart football. Cliches. Every one of those things is a cliche.
Yeah, it's
a cliche. You know what happens, really? These guys are in the locker room, and they're having an in-house meeting. No coaches, just players. And they got to air their beef. We used to have fights in there, buddy, all the time.
Yeah.
I remember Rod Hill, honestly, God, coming down to our locker room. All the O-line was one side, and they were on the other side. And he goes, they came up and they said, "You guys are a piece of shit. Your offense, you guys stink." And Bob Molly got up and said, "Get the hell out of here." And they started going at it. And Bob, of course, you don't want to wrestle Bob, Olympic wrestler. He pretty much pinned Rod Hill. But that is something that went on a lot. Guys would scream at each other, like, pick it up. And sometimes the fingers got pointed. Now, you don't hear that outside of the locker room because they're trying to keep everything in-house. But I can promise you this. They have some issues. Everybody wants to make it look at personnel. I don't think it's personnel. I think they got pretty damn good personnel. You just don't go from a penthouse to a shit house in 1 year. So somehow
a lot of people think they have.
Well, I mean, I still have faith in the Bombers. Maybe that's just because I'm looking through rose-colored glasses, and because I'm an ex-Bomber. But having said that, this team it's a wave. It's like being on a roller coaster. You're up. Woo! Here we go. Now we're going down, and it's like, where are we stopping? Are we going to make it up again? It don't get easy, buddy. Next 3 games. But I digress. Forget about the next 3. Let's worry about the Alouettes on Friday. This is a hell of a football club.
Montreal are world beaters right now. I don't know if anybody can even hold a candle to them. 9-1, best quarterback in the league. His top 2 targets lead the league in receiving 1-2.
I love that Philpott kid, man. And you know what? Tyson and his brother in Calgary, another one that's doing really well. These kids out of UBC, hell, man, they're good. I mean, Philpott, listen, for a Canadian kid, and I hate to say it a Canadian, because he's kicking the shit out of anybody right now.
Doesn't matter.
That kid's got. Well, he's the one that caught. Remember the one in the Grey Cup game? He caught that touchdown right at the end to beat the Bombers.
Yeah,
and then he just kept growing. He's just like he's got over 1,229 yards in 10 games.
Yeah,
He's on pace to go crazy, and I want to see it. I know he's playing the Bombers. I love watching a guy that's coming into his own, and he has come into his own. And then you talk about the other guy with Tyler Sneed. These guys, man. And you got Hollins. Look at Alexander Hollins at the end, the outside. Used to be a big stud with BC. They've got some guys. Cole Speaker, the other halfback. You know what? Thank you for doing that. They got, but you know, it all starts with the guy up front, right? And that Davis Alexander. What is he? Oh, there you go. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me of a guy that I am starting to really, really like. And that is Travis Thies. My God, is this kid a bull? Bull in a china shop. They really liked it. For years, Montreal, Williams, Stanback, they had other guys that I thought were really good. Mm-hmm. I really get excited watching this kid play. He's not the biggest cat. I think he's like 5'8", 5'9". Yeah, I think he weighs a couple hundred or something like that. But he just runs. And, of course, good combo waiters. Jason Moss is a hell of a coach. You know what I like about him? And you're not going to like this, but maybe some fans won't like it. He'll scream at you right in the game. Mm-hmm. You screw up, he'll come over and rip your ass off. I mean, that's what I like. I'm sorry.
Now, Mike O'Shea won't do that. He'll have quiet conversations with players. But he is the antithesis of fire and brimstone and ruling with I don't want to say ruling with an iron fist, but he doesn't show that emotion.
No. Well, you know what? I think a coach should say something, and I know that what his philosophy is, we'll keep it in-house. And maybe he's telling these guys in-house. But I think when you start losing, you got to start saying it. Grab a guy. You watch it. I don't care what league you're in, UFL, NHL, this CFL. A guy messes up where it's really bad. He messes up. The coach is going to pull him aside, and he's going to give him an earful. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, are you worried about damaging that guy's psyche? And he might go back, and all of a sudden, he's so afraid to make a mistake again. And that's O'Shea's philosophy. I don't want them to play scared. I want them to play 100%. And he actually said that. I don't care if you're 100% wrong, as long as you're going at it 100%, which is not a bad philosophy. It's not a bad philosophy. But I do like a guy that's got a little fire and brimstone in him. Not to the fact of berating a guy, but telling him, hey, listen, we need you. When I played in the first game I ever played, and I've told this story a lot, and I'm surprised I even made the football team in the first game when they moved me to the O-line. And Lyle Wazasenski put two of my quarterbacks out in two different plays. And the head coach at the time came over and told me, and he said, hey, listen, man, you got to tighten up. We're out of quarterbacks. And I had to take that bus. It was against Saskatchewan, too. I had to take that bus home thinking, well, that was a quick career. Thank God they gave me another chance, but it's humiliating. But the coach will come over, and I mean, he came over and pulled me aside, and he said, hey, you got to tighten your ass up. You got to play better. And, and anybody that ever played offensive line, the worst feeling in the world as an offensive lineman is getting beat early. If you get beat early, you're like, oh, shit, what did I do wrong? Now you're saying, did I take a step too far, a step too inside? And then you got to talk to yourself, calm down, play your game, watch the numbers. Don't worry about anybody else. Don't worry about all that wiggly, squiggly shit they do. Just watch the numbers. And that's what they taught us. Watch the numbers. So anyway,
I'm not being apologetic. Winnipeg's defense didn't get a stop when they needed to against Edmonton.
Oh, exactly.
But if the offense had done anything in the second half, that wouldn't have even come into play. Winnipeg's defense, I thought, played a very good game overall. We got to remember that Justin Rankin torched the entire league the first third of the season. And over the last month and a half, Cody Fajardo has been torching the entire league. He's got a 500-yard passing game against a very good team. I believe it was the Saskatchewan Roughriders, right? Cody Fajardo and Edmonton's offense were kept at bay. They scored 22 points against Winnipeg. The test will be even more difficult for Winnipeg's defense with the Montreal Alouettes in town. And we'll take a look at the Bombers depth chart here as Dietrich Nichols is a game time decision. And I understand Dietrich Nichols is not playing up to what we knew of him for the majority of his career, which was an all-star level. He has had struggles this season. But anytime you lose a starting halfback, it puts your entire defense in disarray. Major Williams, I think, has been Winnipeg's best, if not second best. Hello, Evan Holm. Defensive back for the Blue Bombers this season. If Nichols can't go, it's an ankle injury. Major Williams will kick over to halfback. Trey Vavel will play corner. And Winnipeg will likely make a move off the practice roster. I'm guessing Ridge Tejada will make his Blue Bombers debut as a reserve defensive back. Either way, seeing David Reese emerge and evolve as a young player, Michael Fletcher, we know what Jake Serezna and Willie Jefferson can do. Newer Gatkuth has had some good plays this year as Winnipeg's first-round draft pick in 2026. Man, I like Smith. Jalen Smith is an impressive football player. He has really solidified that spot since the loss of Michael Griffin and Retta Cramdy. I really like Jake Kelly. This is my point, Chris. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers defense, I think, is on the upward swing. I really do. They have to help the Blue Bombers' struggling offense if they have any chance of keeping pace with those red-hot Alouettes.
Well, you hit it on the head. And the old saying is, defense wins championships, offense wins games. Every Grey Cup that we have won, except for, I would believe, 1980, the last one we won when I played, that's when we kicked the crap out of Edmonton. Offense was firing on all cylinders. But we still got plays from Greg Battle, who intercepted a ball for a touchdown. But yeah, 88, defense. 84, defense to get us around. We had great defense, great players. Defense is what keeps you in the game. And, like I said, we weren't out of the game. It just, and I guess I'm trying to spread the blame a little bit, if I must use that word. I don't want to say blame, but spread it around. Because I know it's so easy to pick on the offense, but if the offense is only running 9 plays, now you say, well, stay on the field. But if you're not getting on the field, how do you stay on the field? You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things that to me, it was just like, and somebody made a comment in your section here about, Edmonton started doing the dink and dunk passing game. And again, we play match coverage, which like say they like to put a DB. Winnipeg likes to put a DB to an extra side of the receivers. But if you find a hole in there and you get time to throw the football and have a quarterback like Fajardo, he's going to pick you apart. And that's what he did. He started throwing the ball low. But guys are breaking tackles. And that's the other thing again, right? We saw the one with Jonathan Moxey. We've seen that already a number of games this year, where whether it be a running back or whether it be a receiver, breaks tackles, picks up a crucial first down to keep their drive alive and keep our offense off the field. We need to have Zach playing like he did the first half. I thought he played extremely well in the first half. That offense looked good. We were 16 up. I thought, yeah, this is the Bombers I'm used to seeing. And again, like I said, and I'm beating it again, but I said, why? Who's doing the adjustments at halftime? Because how do we come back out and they all of a sudden take control of the game and we can't do anything? So are they making offensive, adjustments? And why are we, I don't. It's just one of those things that you're not in the locker room, but I know that from being in the locker room years past, they'll bring out that chalkboard and they'll say, okay, here's what they're doing, you guys. What do we do? Here's a coordinator who's going to say, okay, we need to do this. Now you're going against a team with Alouettes who have, as far as I'm concerned, they've got just so many weapons offensively. And we're not even talking about Montreal's defense. Montreal's defense is pretty damn good, man. I mean, I looked at some of their stats and I looked at some of their players. They only give up, they're number one in points against. They give up the pass a little bit, but they got Mustafa. I'm a big fan of Mustafa Johnson at tackle. Isaac Demi Berglund. They got a couple new guys in, and David Perales and what's the other guy's name? The guy Wise in the other side right there. I think his name is Daniel. Yeah, Daniel Wise.
Luol Uguak, very
Yeah.
talented Canadian.
Oh boy, yeah, he went down. And then of course, look at the line. And there's your buddy, who I think might be the best player in the league. I'm a big Tyrese Beverett. The
I'll
guy
have
gets
a sip
around.
for that Beverett. Man, he is so freaking good. He is so
He
good.
is. I know. I told you he's good.
Like, he could play middle linebacker and not be undersized, and he could play safety or even corner and have no problem. He's incredible. He's incredible. If he was 4 or 5 years younger and playing at this level he has over the last couple of years, he'd be in the NFL.
He wouldn't be here. Yeah, he'd be in the NFL. I mean, there's some guys that you think should be in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who that. Oh, and that's why.
But
Noel
Kenton Urku has played so well at middle linebacker that Micah Awe, who was the league's leading tackler in 2025, the league's leading tackler last year, is his backup.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Sutton, and that might come down to, when one guy gets an opportunity and he doesn't mess it up. And I mean, you got Najee Murray and the other linebacker who's playing very well too. So,
and Kabianento,
they have some top performers this week. Yeah, they got some very talented guys on the. This is a team, and of course you got Devontae Dedmon back as a returner. They brought him back, and that guy's dangerous already. He's averaging 30 yards, 31 yards on kickoff returns, averaging 31.
Yeah,
and as you know, as I've said a million times to you during our shows, field position is so crucial. And it's going to be crucial again tomorrow. And again, we're going to have two of the best in Trey Vavel and again Devontae Dedmon. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. But this is a team that Moss has just got him. He's got him playing nice football, and he's offensive coordinator, head coach. You got Noel Thorpe, who I think has always been one of the best defensive coordinators in the CFL. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle tomorrow, boys. I'm telling you right now.
Well, and look, a lot of people in the live chat are saying, like I pulled this comment up before. I'll do it again. Nick Snaps and Crafts. I'm curious about what that handle is all about. Good to see you in the live chat, Nick. Pardon me. Wrong one. Here we go. Oh, did I? Oh, yeah. It was J-Boy Diano who said, let's not sugarcoat this. We're going to get smashed, says J-Boy. I don't think anybody is sugarcoating it. The way I frame this is Winnipeg needs to play their best football game, because the last thing they need right now is to have an absolutely debilitating loss. And then you got to go to Regina for the most
Labor Day.
Psychologically and emotionally supercharged game of the season, the Labor Day Classic. Winnipeg needs to go in there with a little bit of momentum and hope.
Yeah.
Best case obviously is winning both of those games. Sask is on a 2-game losing streak. They're not playing well at all right now. I think realistically, without sugarcoating it, best case scenario for Winnipeg right now is getting a split against Saskatchewan. But they can't go in there having the shorts knocked off them at home against Montreal. They got to put up a fight.
And you're talking about Saskatchewan, and we talked about this guy last show, the guy that Hamilton let go. The receiver, he signed with Saskatchewan. He's in their starting lineup already.
Who's that?
This is what's his name from Hamilton?
Shamar Bridges.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a guy
that's had a lot of injuries at receiver. Yeah.
Yeah, they lost Emilius again, Samuel.
Yeah.
Emilius, who's out for 6. I mean, they've had injuries all the time.
Oh yeah.
But that's a great pickup. That's a great pickup for Saskatchewan. Sometimes I get people saying to me, why don't we grab that guy? Well, we don't have an issue with our receivers. Our receivers are good, man. Where are you going to put them? You got Dembski nailed. But to your point, we talked about this last show. You could play an American in place of Gavin Cobb at that wideout, right? We have an extra Canadian, the 7 have to be in a roster, but I know maybe they want to put the extra guy in the defense, so that might be why. So I don't know.
Well, look, Dorian Singer, another week of practice where he's making plays, Chris. Dorian Singer, for those that aren't aware, this was the darling of 2026 training camp. A receiver just looks quick and crisp, great hands, nice possession guy underneath. He can pop the top off and open things up deep. Really nice player. The question is, he's not getting an opportunity in Winnipeg's offense. I don't know. Like I'm a little bit split. Do they need another receiver? Is that really going to help the offense right now?
No, I don't know about that either. I'm throwing that out. I'm just throwing that stuff out. But it's just funny because you just showed him he's on the practice roster, and you would think that other teams would be looking at that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Has he got it? Because once you're on the practice roster, anybody can pick you up.
But if you get plucked off the practice roster by another team, first of all, the player has to agree to it. They have to say, okay, I want to go. And the other thing is, like, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're like, I like where I'm at. I like the team. I like my teammates.
Well, probably is.
Whatever it might be. But they have to be activated immediately on the active roster on the team that picks them up.
Yeah, but I mean, for the guy, I mean, Kenny Lawler, who's a stud in this league. I mean, obviously, we Bombers are very familiar with him. He just went wax poetic on this guy, saying that Shamar Bridges is a guy you're going to hear a lot about. He's that good. He's that studious. He understands offense. But you don't know what happened in Hamilton. Again, it's one of those locker room things. You don't know what's happening. He wasn't playing in Hamilton. They had him. He was just basically taking him space, which is really strange when a guy that they really say is this good. So, but that's another team. But I mean, I'm just saying, if this Dorian guy is as good as you, I'm taking your word at it because I've never seen him play.
He looks like a guy.
I'm surprised. I'm just surprised because they bring scouts to the game. Different teams put guys at practice just to see what the guys have on their practice. And they'll take film on a guy and they'll take it back and say, this kid's not bad, man. We should maybe get a chance to get him. So, maybe we're waxing so much on this guy that he's going to get picked up because we seem to be on his,
They should be listening to you. They should be, the people out there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you see him. You've seen this guy, and you've been really pumping his tires. So you wonder sometimes, and it's a good thing. I mean, you're pumping a guy, giving him an opportunity. I mean, nobody wants to sit on a practice roster, right? Nobody comes to play professional football just to sit. I mean, yeah, it gets comfortable, but you're not part of the team, really. You're just not. I don't care what anybody says. Even if you get injured and you've been part of the team, you don't feel like part of the team.
Yeah. Because
they carry on. You're just a speed bump. We're all speed bumps in life, brother. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not much changes. Tomorrow, time will go on, and they'll have another guy in your spot, and it's the way it goes.
Hit that thumbs up if you haven't yet. I heard a rumor there's a new button on YouTube called the hype button. Try to find that hype button. Send us some hype. If you're watching afterwards, drop a comment. We read them all. Do our best to respond if you got a question. And if you're listening on podcast, you can like us in your podcast app as well. Hit the star, the thumbs up, or the heart, or whatever it is. You can also find us on YouTube. BonfireSports.ca/live takes you to right to our live channel where our pre-games and post-game shows are always. We'll have live post-game coverage following Bombers Alouettes on Friday. Okay, Chris Walby, keys to the game. What is critical for Winnipeg to do if they want to pull off a shocking upset? They're touchdown plus underdogs to the powerhouse Montreal Alouettes. I think kind of like what we were talking about today, keys to the game is just so that they stay in the fight, put up a serious battle.
Yeah, DB, I mean, I think there's a couple crucial things, and that is basically stay on the football field is number one. Continue drives. I don't care what you got to do offensively. Condell, use your entire playbook against a very good Montreal defense. Take advantage of the red zone. We didn't even talk about that, but this is the worst team in the red zone, the Bombers. The only one's a little worse is Ottawa, but they're 0-10, so that's why. We've only got 13 touchdowns in the red zone. We keep settling for field goals. You can't win games just living off Sergio. And then I really still think that you got to stop the disappearing act. I'm a big fan of bully ball, and I think if it's working in the first half, if the wheel ain't broke, you don't have to fix it. So I mean, continue with bully ball and Brady. Stop the disappearing act. I call it disappearing Houdini football in the second half because things just disappear. I like that. On defense, boy, I tell you what, this is gonna be tough. Alexander, they're already calling him Alexander the Great. He gets out. He throws the ball extremely well, even across body throws. But we cannot forget about one big thing, and that's that you got to stop this Travis Thies. You got to stop the running. He's second in the rushing right now. And then you look at the other thing is, and if they do Bombers do make this change where Valvo goes to corner and Major Williams goes to half, you really got to try and limit. I don't see you ever going to stop it. Limit the damage that Philpott and Sneed do. Special teams, it is a game of field position. And we've really had a great guy in Trey Valvo. God bless you, man. This kid has given us great field position we have to take advantage of. And I want to say this. Congrats to Sergio Castillo, who's now the record holder, the most 50-plus yard field goals ever in the CFL. Boy, that's a guy that, he gives you an automatic points. Once you get across to 40, 45, you can kick a 52. He's that good. So congrats to Sergio. Well-deserved, man. But, yeah, those are my keys, brother. And I'm looking forward to watching this game. And I hate to say this, but what team is going to show up? I wish, what my druthers would be, that the Bombers come out and just basically kick the shit out of defensively. Like, start picking off Alexander. He's got 20 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. Rattle the cage of Alexander the Great. Get in him, man. Go after him.
Yeah.
Get in his grill. Talk shit to him. Do whatever you got to do. Show pictures of his. Never mind. I'm not going to do that. I'll stay away from that one. That's going to get me in trouble.
Show pictures of, well, who knows?
Never mind. Yeah.
There are playoff implications already in week 13 in the CFL. 21 weeks on the season. We're in week 13, so we're 2/3 of the way there. A Montreal win and a Hamilton loss. Montreal clinches a postseason berth and a home playoff game. Crazy. A Montreal win, a Hamilton win, a Toronto win, and an Ottawa win. Montreal clinches a postseason berth by eliminating the possibility of being surpassed in the standings by a West crossover team. And then no clinching scenarios in the West. But what's so important, I think, for people to keep an eye on is that Edmonton is on a bye week. They're way ahead of everybody as far as games played. They were, early in the week last week. They had 2 more games than the rest. But Saskatchewan is not playing good football right now. 3-2 at home, 3-2 on the road. They're 3-2 in the division. And if you look at points for and points against, they're not world beaters right now.
No.
BC is surging. 1-5 start, 4 straight wins to sit at 5-5. They've really turned things around. Winnipeg, this is where, they're 5-5, but points against are more than points for. Winnipeg's points for through 10 games needs to be in this 300 area, not 250. And then the Calgary Stampeders, they've scored a crap load of points. Just a crap load. More than the Montreal Alouettes in the same amount of games. But
I think
they've had no luck this year in closing out wins.
One of the things I've said to you over and over the shows we've done is, I've said this last week, I'll beat it again. They need to stretch this defense. The Bombers have only got 9 passes over 30-plus yards. They're the worst in the CFL. You've got to stretch defenses, and I know they like to play the dink and dunk to Brady and that stuff, but you still got to stretch this defense, make those DBs play honest. I said it exactly last week against Edmonton, and I'll stick with it. You got to throw the ball deep. Even if you're not complete, you're keeping the defense honest. And that's a thing that I haven't seen. And this is a team that Zach can go deep. We got guys can go deep. Dembski, we've seen him. You've seen Ontario Wilson. He just about got that one out of bounds last week. That could have changed the game. You know what I mean? But ifs and buts, candies and nuts ain't going to do nothing for you. So, you just got to keep at it and keep throwing and stretch it. And if you do that, I think you got a shot. But it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. What's the weather like tomorrow? Do you know? I don't even know.
I think it's pretty good. I'll look it up here as I pose this question to you, because I want to talk about Zach Collaros.
Oh, man.
His best football is behind him, in my opinion. It really is.
Yeah.
But there's zero doubt in my mind that he's the best option right now for Winnipeg at quarterback.
Yeah.
Is there something, just in your experience, Chris, is there something that can be done or has been done to help a team when their quarterback is maybe not playing up to the potential?
You know what? I remember what they used to say to me as they'd meet with the quarterbacks, and the quarterback would meet with the coordinators, and some of the star players. Like I remember David Williams was a receiver with us. A lot of these guys, Gerald Wilcox, Alpha, and they would go in with the meeting rooms with the coaches and say, "I'm playing against this guy. I think we could do something against him." So I mean, it's a lot of communication. It's a lot of just sharing it knowledge. I don't think that Zach is anywhere near done. I like Zach, and I agree with you. I think he gives us our best chance. I found it interesting that he had a kind of a rest day on the first day of practice, and they had Drew Brown taking all the first team snaps. But that might be a smart thing just so that he's not coming in cold if he does get an opportunity to play. But yeah, I think that's just communication, working together, talking. Like seriously, I remember being in the huddle and guys saying, "I got this guy beat. Look at him." They go to Dunnigan. Dunny, I can beat this guy. And I remember the game that Dunny was throwing for 700 yards against Edmonton. Albert, what's his name? Oh, come on. Not Albert Williams. Albert, he had 4 touchdowns. He had over 200 yards receiving. They just couldn't cover him. And he said, "This guy can't cover me, man."
Was it Albert Johnson?
Can't. No, Albert, come on, man. I'm not Alfred Jackson. Sorry, man. And Alfred, I apologize, brother, teammate. He came in a huddle. He says, "Hey, Dunny, this guy cannot catch me. He can't catch me." And you know what? He kept throwing the ball deep, but he kept making catches. That's communication. That's how you help your quarterback out.
Well, Winnipeg's going to need to do that. I think ensuring the right game plan, like hopefully Tommy Condell's experience in this league gives him a bit of a leg up on building a game plan, not just that, a Tommy Condell game plan, but a game plan that works for this roster, for this team against the Montreal Alouettes. Not trying to shoehorn a system into a playbook or a playbook into a system, but knowing what Winnipeg has, what Zach Collaros' abilities and maybe weaker points are, and getting Brady Oliveira involved in ways that helps Zach Collaros and that it helps the rest of the offense. I think that is so important for Winnipeg to do if they're hoping to be a team that can get into the playoffs and maybe make some noise. But first things first, Montreal Alouettes in town. They cannot let this team come in here and kick them around the ballpark. I feel like that will be just as damaging as a 3-game losing streak is in itself.
Yeah, I remember I was drafted in Montreal. I remember if we came back to play Winnipeg first game, and I was a defensive lineman. And I remember coming here and we got our ass kicked by Winnipeg 52-3 or something like that. And I was like, wow. But yeah, I just think that for me, I really believe the communication, talking in a huddle. And I know that my favorite is still Tom Clemens, who used to say to me, "Shut the fuck up" all the time. Because I'd be like, "Hey, I can run the ball on this guy. This guy's a piece of, I can knock him over. Let's go. Let's run it. Let's run it." And he'd go, and it was almost like that cartoon character. We just, "Shut up," slaps you across the face. Oh, I used to get in trouble all the time. Cal
you were pretty mouthy in the huddle, hey?
Oh yeah, Cal used to say, "Stop calling frickin' plays."
Cal Murphy.
Like I told you a funny story with when, and that was my favorite story. Is Sammy Black Sox Garza, who comes in the game when he's got a pass 54 to search, which is basically a drop back. The quarterback sits behind the right tackle and throws the ball. And I said, "No, run the ball." And Sammy goes, "No." I said, "We're not doing it then. Run the ball." Sammy goes, "What do you mean you're not going to do it?" "No." Okay, 44 search was a running play. We get smoked. We get smoked. Comes to the sideline and Cal grabs Sammy by the face mask. "What the hell is that? Who told you to change the play?" Sammy's like, and that's when Cal goes, "Walby, just play the game and shut up."
If God gave you a different physical makeup, Chris, you think you could have been a quarterback?
Yeah, no.
No.
Let's not get carried. Let's not get carried. You know what? I used to play touch football as a kid growing up in West Kelowna Park. And yeah, all of us could throw a ball. We could all do stuff. I mean, we just have fun.
Well,
never in my wildest dreams would I ever have the smarts to play quarterback. I think that's why now I'd like to pay, but no, I'm not vain enough to think I could play that sport. I mean, I'm just lucky.
Backyard football, you make the best athlete or the best player, regardless of who he is, the quarterback, right? Because you can kind of just run wildcat and go crazy. I remember reading Magic Johnson was 6'2" when he was in grade 6. How big were you when you were getting into junior high? Like, were you that big of a kid too?
No, hell no. When I was in grade 12, I weighed 180 pounds, 6'7", 180.
What?
Oh, if you look at I had an Adam's apple, you could hang a coat off.
But you were 6'7".
6'7", yeah.
And
the weirdest thing about that is, I was terrible. I played defense. That was my first year of football. I played for St. John's Tigers.
Yeah.
So
you were just the long, lanky defensive end.
Long, lanky piece of garbage. And the only thing I was talking about,
you got into college football though.
Well, no, because I started lifting weights, getting bigger, and got bigger and bigger. And then God said, you know what? Enough picking on this guy. Give him some size for Moses. Go down there and help him out, man. And so, yeah. It's like I said, when we were in the park and I was playing, we were playing good, but we're all 16 and 15. We were playing elementary kids. Come here, little bugger.
Right. Run them over.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, where are you watching the game this weekend?
Lake. I'm heading to Lake tomorrow morning. I was going to go today. I was going to go yesterday because my one son's out there. But I had to, it's one of those things where you got two places. You got to take care of the grass. You got to look at this. You got to do that. So I'll head out tomorrow morning and watch the game. It should be a heck of a game. I'm just hoping, boys, come on, show up. Bring a little pride to Princess Auto Stadium. Let those fans have a great time. You must be going to the game, I would imagine.
I'll be there. Yeah, and
you always go
there. We'll have our live post game.
Don't you do stuff with CJOB too?
No, not anymore. No, I was on the sports show. I was on the CJOB sports show last night.
Were you?
Yeah. Even talked a little Vigo Bjork, the Jets' first round pick.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You got hockey coming up too.
Oh yeah, training camp's right around the corner.
You finished basketball. Now you're going to go to hockey, and then I know that you're doing a lot of the bocce ball tournaments now, so that's good to you. So good for you,
because
man.
you're scared to play me in shuffleboard. Can't mess with
the best. Man, I'll tell you right now, bocce. Shuffleboard. We had a tournament last Friday, but there's so many people playing. I only got one game in, but it was good. We got rid of one table, so that's good. We only got one table left now, so. But yeah, it's a good time, buddy. But
here's a question, just on the way out, Chris, because I get this from fans all the time, and I see it in the live chat so often that Adam Bighill should be the D-line coach or the linebackers coach or a coordinator, or Chris Streveler should be a coach. Perk asks, have you thought about being an offensive coach?
No, even though I have a lot of opinions. No, I think, you know what, Dave, Wade Miller asked me to come in, I think about 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years ago, to be a assistant O-line coach. And I almost did it. I thought about it, but then again, I've been busy with, doing 2 jobs all the time with CBC and doing pharmaceuticals. And do I want to go back to a 12-hour day? Because people don't understand the time constraint on coaching. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I wanted a summer. I just wanted a summer. And you know what? Maybe we'll film that. We'll have somebody film the DB versus Walby massacre. Hold it. Walby versus DB massacre. Let me get that straight.
It'll be a massacre. You have no idea.
Yeah, but
I've had players tell me that all the time. They either want to be a coach because they just have such a passion for the game. And then others, like I think something fans don't realize is that when you're a player, you kind of put in your 8-10 hour day, right? Maybe even less sometimes. You're taking care of the body, that sort of thing. You're studying, you're watching film, you're in the gym, all of that. Excuse me. But if you're a coach during the season, you have no life. Like you're working 15, 16 hour days. Your workload from player to coach doubles. I don't think a lot of people realize that.
Well, we have a 4.5 hour rule, and that's the CFL has. So you can go in there. A lot of guys will show up early, but the actual coaching time has to be it's a 4-hour time period there.
Yep.
But even after that, you'll have guys hanging around on their own, doing film work, doing studying, doing extra work outside, working out. All this stuff adds up. Yeah, it gets to be about and that's a great point by being a good football player doesn't translate at all into being a good coach. You have to want it, and you have to be able to understand it. Are you going to be able to impart on the players what you want?
You have to be a teacher.
And you have to be a teacher. Now, I was a school teacher, so maybe I would be a good one. You know what? I don't know. But that's neither here nor there because it ain't happening. So, I mean, I'm too old for that stuff now. Yeah. Now I just hang around and watch the flowers.
Right. That's what you watch, the flowers. Hey, have a great weekend, Chris. Everybody in the live chat, watching live or
thank you
afterwards,
guys.
Have a great weekend. Enjoy this game. There's going to be 30,000 plus at the Madhouse on Matheson. Bring the noise. Have fun. Don't worry about, if Winnipeg wins or loses. They are playing a juggernaut of a team. Just enjoy it because that's what this is about. And then join us on the postgame show. And whether it's more of a therapeutic session or one where we, get into the X's and O's, break it down, and who knows what happens. It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. Have a couple coldies for me there on the dock. All right, Chris?
I will have a couple tomorrow. I've been a good boy, but today I may have a couple because it looks like it's pretty nice out. I'm looking at my window. But I got to go shopping. The wife has given me orders. Go shop. So I got to go shop, and then we'll have a couple. But anyway, you have a good one too, DB. Enjoy the game. All the people out there, enjoy the game. You know what? You never know what's going to happen. It could be one of those upsets, and it would be an upset.
Mm-hmm.
But never say never. Any given Sunday, baby. Any given Sunday, even though it's a Friday. All right. I got to go. Feel like I got a bowel movement coming on. So adios, my friend.
Thanks for those details. Appreciate that. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you.
All right, buddy.